Well, welcome back, sisters. You're watching Women's AM, and you're here with me, Ayan, and I've got my lovely sisters on the panel today. We've got Zainab and Hassana, and our special guest today, Sister Saliha. So, mashallah, we're now coming on to our third segment, her reviews. We'll be looking at some interesting websites. So, sisters, we're looking at 3 interesting websites today, first of which is islamcity.com. So let's start with you, Sister Hassana. What did you think of it?
This is a website I visit quite a lot. One of the things I like about it, it's quite comprehensive. It's got loads of different tabs on the side that you'll see there when you visit the website. It has a number of different things. It's got from kind of the Islamic side of things, so it's got the Hadith and the Quran studies, and it's also got some history in there as well. But one of the things I really like about this website is it's got some lifestyle stuff. So it's got recipes and a bit of shopping in there as well. So it's almost like kind of an all-rounder. It's got bits for everyone. And it's got some interesting features as well. One of the things I found quite interesting is it's got a list of common questions that people might have about Islam. So why does Islam often seem strange? And then it's got some information on that, which I think is really nice. You know, people might not want to ask that question to people face to face. So it's nice that they've got a resource there that's thinking about these things. But I will say that the website is a bit too busy. It needs a little bit more structure. There's quite a lot going on. I think the structure of it looks a little bit, dare I say it, a little bit old-fashioned. I think it needs some streamlining. It could do with a bit of clarity in some areas, and there's more information needed as well. Sometimes the information there is very, very minimal, so I think that needs development. But overall, I think it's really great.
What about you, Zainab?
It's a good place to go to if you want basically to come across anything and everything. I find it actually kind of overwhelming on that level, even because they even have like a marriage service and all kinds of, it's crazy. But mashallah, it's the more comprehensive the better a lot of the time. The articles are kind of, they're not the most in-depth articles, but then they cover quite a lot of nice topics and things like that, from, like you were saying, from the politics to the Sharia to lifestyle issues to all kinds of things. There was one article called 10 Easy Phrases to Gain Jannah. I love that article. It's so good. So it's, you know, today people want short, sharp, you know, explanations of things, and that it does it very well, mashallah.
Oh, mashallah. And we've also got onislam.net. So talk us through this one.
You know, we use this one quite a lot. I think there's loads of articles on here that we use. It's got contemporary issues, which is fantastic. If you look at the front page, it's got, you know, immediately it comes up with all of the kind of the highlights for that day, which I think is really great. It's got a really fantastic multimedia section as well, which has got talks and lectures and things like that. I really, really like this website. I think it's streamlined. I like the colour scheme. You know, the background's very clear. It's a white background. It makes everything stand out, and it's just very easy on the eye. So I really like that about it. Presentation's really important to me. I think you can tell now. So.
Yeah, so you really like that one.
I do like this one, but I have to say I do have a con for this. It's got a segment on there which is on Islam Africa, which is fantastic if you live in Africa. But I think it should have segments for each part of the world. So I'd really like an on Islam Europe, an on Islam UK, or
you do not feel you're being
Asia.
a bit biased. We've got a lot of on Islam for the West, I suppose.
But, you know, I want to have the cake and eat it as well. So I think, you know, I think it's developing. So inshallah, I'm hoping in the future they will have an on Islam Europe segment.
What about
Again,
you,
very broad, covers a lot of different topics. So there was one article about learning from Allah, learning patience from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that was really, really beautiful. There's another article about Assyrian Brotherhood. So they target a lot of different kind of issues, and like you said, it's a lot more streamlined. It looks a little bit nicer, but there's also an interesting focus on gradualism. So that's quite unique. I'm just trying to think of ways of differentiating the different websites, but that's definitely one thing that they kind of base some of their thinking upon. So that's something for viewers to bear in mind.
And then our last one here, I have to say I really like this one, is suhaibweb.com.
I'm going to be so biased with
this. I know you are, I know.
I absolutely love it. You know, I quote from it all the time. I think, you know, it's on my homepage at home, it's on my phone, it's just constantly there as a reference. It's one of my favourites. It's got advice about absolutely everything. But one of the key points for this website, I think, is tazkiyah. It really focuses on that self-development. So you'll find advice in there from, you know, spirituality. I think it really does focus on spirituality, which is fantastic, because that really appeals to me. So you know, this is one of my favourite resources to turn to. But I do feel that some areas do need a little bit more development. So while it's, you know, heavy on the spirituality, other parts of it, like, you know, hadith focuses and stuff like that, I think that could be a bit stronger. Generally, an absolutely fantastic resource, and I can't, you know,
it's
shout about it enough. There we go. It's my favourite. It's one of my faves.
That's out of the three. This is definitely probably my favourite as well. Because it takes the culture to a deeper level. It's not just kind of like an overview thing. There's stuff in there that I've never come across before. There's kind of takes and angles on things that I just thought was really extraordinary. And even hadiths and ayahs, you know, like if you do this for long enough, you basically find the same things, and they've always find something new. So I thought that was great. But the other thing I really like about it is this whole thing of always maintaining your viewpoint on Islam whilst being contemporary. So sometimes that means being modern, i.e., kind of cutting corners with the deen and compromising and things like that. But they make a point of trying to make Islam relevant, but the whole of Islam, without having to do that. And I like that.
Just touching on that, actually, because you can contribute from all different backgrounds. So actually, for any budding writers out there, you can kind of contribute to the website as well. And I do find that you get a lot of subject-specific articles as well. So, for example, you might have someone who's from a finance background who talks about Islamic finance, or you have someone who's a psychologist and they talk about positive psychology in Islam. So you do get a lot of articles that are quite meaty.
MashaAllah. So you can even join in on what's on the material that's on there. Sister Saliha, have you come across these websites before?
Yes, I have. Actually, I was on Web last night looking up stuff. I mean, I think they are quite good. I mean, I think they need to kind of do some mobile apps because a lot of us actually go on them on the mobile. So I think it's really important that they have those apps. I don't think all of them do. But I also think they need to be a bit wider. I think we do use different ones when we need to, but it'd be really good to have a list. But I've also, I also want to kind of find out who is running them. It's an important. I was just mentioning that we do need to look at who are running these websites, etc. Just in terms of beyond just the articles, in terms of authenticity, and also in terms of this is huge business. And it's important that Muslims are running this.
Yeah. Well, Jazakallah khair for that, sisters. Well, we've sadly come to the end of the show, but we'll be back tomorrow, inshallah, with another packed episode where we'll be taking a look at free mixing, so don't miss it. But before we go, just another reminder about our competition this week. So this week on Women's AM, we're holding an exciting competition for you sisters out there. Up for grabs are 3 hijabs and accessories from Tassels. So to be in with a chance to win these fabulous goodies, all you have to do is answer the following question. Who was the first ambassador of Islam? Was it A, Sa'ad ibn Mu'ad, B, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, C, Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib radiallahu anhu, or D, Mus'ab ibn Umair radiallahu anhu? To enter, email your answers A, B, C or D to Women's AM at islamchannel.tv along with your name and address and what you most like about Women's AM. The deadline for entries is Friday, 14th of March 2014 at 4 p.m. And all applicants need to be over 18 and residing in the UK. And please note, only 1 entry per person per household. And a winner will be randomly selected from the correct entries, and the name will be announced on Monday's show. So get entering. We're off to, well, actually no. It's the end of the show, unfortunately, yeah. So, Jazakallah khair for your contribution, sisters. And also, not forgetting, last week's winner is Sister Feroz Maliku. Many congratulations to you. Make sure that you keep emailing us with your comments. And because we love to hear from you and continue striving in the way of Allah. So, Jazakallah khair, sisters. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.